Greetings and salutations, exiles. In this video, I just wanted to touch upon one other kind of caveat, and it really, I should say, two pieces. So one is I did a comparison video between the Sumerian fur and the new Arius armor. That's getting with this new patch. So if you kind of want to get more into the weeds on the differences, because they both kind of share a similar role with, and I point out the advantages and disadvantage. And I turned around like this, and I was like, oh yeah, there's alligator armor, right? Reptilian armor. And what throws you off about the reptilian armor is it's really visually, it's a summer it's a summer outfit. You know what I mean? These have fur and hair and other things that give them the appearance that they're cold weather. Where this one, she's short sleeved and she's wearing cloth pants. But when you get into it and you click on the individual items, you can see that they're cold, and that really brings us into another issue. Is now that they've added this other content in the game, like this is your summer set that allows you to survive in the volcano. This is your winter set that allows you to survive in the cold. These are contrasting sets, as much as within stats as they are with what they protect you against. And some of these they need to rework. Now that they've introduced these other two sets, they need to turn this into a heat set. They need to bring this back down to a heat set. And so, but this between the three, this is actually a pretty good viable option as well. You get less armor, 250. We're on the other end of this. You're almost close to 500. But all of these armor pieces weigh the same. To the chest is 17.36, as for the other two. Um, so the the big thing is the big takeaway is the stat alignment. I like the way that this stat alignment is. It gives you a 4 and 6 in vitality and grit. So this stat alignment is on point. Even if they made this neutral, because you don't need to have another cold set. They could just make this neutral. And I would probably wear this all the time. And what's kind of interesting is they've come out with some legendary pieces from some of the unnamed city that kind of are follow-on pieces of this. So they have Gauntlets of the Brute, which is a summer set. Okay, and then they have the Dragon Scale Helmet, which is 5 to 5 to cold, and that's a special ability. And then they have a Helmet of the Brute. So what's interesting is you got vitality and grit, right? And so if you with the gauntlets, you can get grit, vitality, so you can able to manipulate these stats. So let's put all this on, and let's see what the manipulation of these stats are, and let's see how this changes through these additional items to kind of shape your understanding. So here I have 10 into agility, so it bumps me up to 291. Okay, but what's interesting is this 9 overall to 5 to grit and 4 to vitality. And I prefer armor sets that stack a single ability over armor that is like 2, 2, 2, and 2 throughout the stats, because stats are diminishing returns. So the more that you can dump into a stat, you're able to put those points somewhere else if you're doing a certain build set. So let's go back to inventory, and let's just see what the Helmet of the Brute gives us, right? Okay, so the armor was actually 50, 88. So the armor was significantly higher. And let's go to attributes, 3 to strength. So this is good, okay. And let's see if attributes, let's go back to inventory, and we're going to go gauntlets of the brute. So this is 25, 44. Okay, now we switch out. So attributes. So we end up with 6 into grit, 2 into vitality, and 3 into strength. So overall, before we had 9, now we're at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 overall attribute points, which was really good. And then for an overall armor, we're at 350. I'm actually kind of impressed with how this plays out, and the way that these armor sets are heat cold, heat cold, heat cold. That actually neutralizes the cold set, so you're able to wear this in the summer. And I'll show you when you go to stats, it says 2 right here. It's because it's minusing 2 from the, so the way those heat sets are, they actually minus from the cold set. And I'll go back to inventory and I'll show you. So we'll go right here and right here, right? So now we're all reptilian. And when I go to stats, you'll see that I have 4. And if I go back to inventory and go brute, it'll minus, it has 1 heat, right? So it minuses the it minus the 1 cold because the 1 heat minuses. And so that's the way the temperature system works with the way that armor stacks. So certain heat pieces can minus from cold pieces and so forth and so on. But yeah, I feel like they need to rework this. They need to go back and revisit this. The stat attributes are fine, and they just need to either neutralize the cold or put, because obviously this is not a cold set. When they developed this, they didn't have a cold set that existed in the game, so they just made this one. But anyways, if you like this kind of content, always like and subscribe, and I welcome feedback. That's the best part of all of this, is the feedback. All right. Thank you for watching.